What's up? What's up? Welcome to yet another episode of He Said, She Said, and the Real. I am your girl, Nikki Lovebug, and y'all know how I get down. Y'all know I love love, so put them hearts in the air. Really? Really? I mean, you got a hat on today. Anyway, put them hearts in the air for me. Let me go ahead and see who out here. Let me see my fabulous, wonderful audience that keeps it real, raw, and relevant. If we have anybody logging in for the first time, listen, he said, she said, we talk about relationships, situationships, friendships. Look, we talk about how to just not go down with the ship, okay? We are your relationship misfits. We absolutely know nothing about doing it right, but we can definitely tell you what not to do wrong. Now, let me bring on the other she to my she said, tongue twister. Let me bring on my camo chick. Hey, put some
Hey,
hearts in the airs for the she's.
happy
What's up, bud?
Tuesday.
It's been a rough
Oh,
Tuesday, man.
it's been a
Longest
rough
Tuesday
week.
ever. Yeah. It feel like it's been Monday 12 times already. It's just Tuesday.
Absolutely. Yes.
What's going on? Let me ask you, camo chick. It is 11 days to Christmas. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how close are you being done with Christmas shopping? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just trying to find out.
Like a two.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
which is
listen.
odd for me. I'm normally like done, but I'm bad this year. Yeah, I'm bad.
Well, let's see what the he's been doing to see if they've been shopping. So I'm going to bring, oh my goodness, these names. I'm bringing up Tis the Season. What's up? Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la, all that stuff. What's going on with you?
What's happening?
What's
Good
happening?
good evening,
Well,
everybody. Happy Tuesday. And you're right,
Happy
it do feel like
Tuesday.
it's been Monday 17 times. Yeah, it's been a pretty
17
frustrating
times,
day.
definitely.
So I'm hopefully, ain't no hopefully I know this show will bring me get my spirits back up. I'm a little frustrated. But
Good tidings
I've
of
been
fresh
I've been I've been
spirit.
looking forward to doing this. I've been looking forward to 8 o'clock all night, man. Let's get it. Let's get it
great.
back.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So listen, since the ladies have the hearts, I think for the guys, y'all gotta have your own emoji, and y'all always come with the giggles, especially this missed. What's this? Merry
What's
Christmas.
that?
Oh,
Christmas, you filthy animals.
see.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
from
And first up,
Home
let me
Alone.
fix them. Let me fix them.
Fix
Oh
them.
my
I'll
God. Let me
go
fix them. Yeah.
What up, Will
Okay.
Wheat? My man Will Wheat in the building.
What's up? What's
Romy
up? Let's see who we got in the audience. And I'm thinking
Romy Rome in the building.
put the giggles up for the guys. Like, let's see who gets the most emojis. If it's the women or the men. So let's do hearts for the she's and let's do laughs for the he's. That's all I'm saying. Put it up. And right now,
We're gonna
ladies is
win.
Boom,
winning.
there we go. We repping.
Do
I
we
see
Repping
the
for the
heart.
fellas. Repping for the
do I
fellas.
think we got some real
Repping for the
issues where
fellas.
you have forgot all about the contract. You just
He
kind of like
froze.
floated over me.
Somebody froze.
And I mean, what is going on? What is
What?
going on
What?
with the show? You just floated over me. Was like, man,
How you
you know
doing?
what?
Merry Christmas, you
You know
filthy
what?
animals.
I'm
My lawyer
sorry.
will be in. My
How
lawyer
you
will be in
doing?
contact. Now you
I'm,
got to lose some more
I just
percentages.
I just asked you how you doing.
I'm sorry. I'm
After she
sorry.
was
I'm
on her
sorry.
soapbox asking for
Okay,
Anyway,
can
giggles,
we
I
our
got some
audience is
giggles for
chiming
you.
in. We always got to be arguing. We ain't even but 5 minutes into the show and we already
Well, you
beefing.
know what? Merry
Golly.
Christmas, you filthy animals. Let's get it started. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you all night long. If you agree with what the she's are saying, put the hearts up. If you agree with what the he's are saying, go ahead and get them the giggles. At the end, we gonna see who was most right. We know it will be the she's. Keep the hearts coming.
Never.
That's all I'm just saying.
Never.
I'm just saying, our
Never.
audience is always right. Our audience is always right.
Because
So listen.
85% women.
Well, that's true. And we're always
well,
right. I'm
there
sorry.
you
That's
go.
just the reality of it.
But
But listen,
I
let's
will say this, like we're honest. So the ladies, even in the
Well,
chat box, if you all are right, they tell you that
I'm
you
gonna
all are
I'm gonna
right.
say
Not
this.
true.
There's some ladies in here that think like dudes, so let's roll. Let's go.
Yeah,
that is true. We do
They
have some of
they
those.
support. They support. So let's go.
that's what I said. So
All
it's
right,
fair.
so tonight's topic, y'all. Listen, it came about. I don't know if y'all heard Mary's new album. It's very much the Mary we love, Heartbroken Mary. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it 100. We
Facts.
like Heartbroken Mary. Her music is
Yes.
fire when it's Heartbroken Mary. We had Taraji Henson, who, broke off her engagement. She's not getting married. Listen, we've had a whole bunch of people who have come out talking about that they are done. I know Viola Davis was one of them. Like, she was like, I'm off marriage, the concept of marriage. I never want to get married. We all laugh about Oprah and Stedman. Although I ain't heard nothing about Stedman. I don't know if they done broke up on the low or
No, they
whatever.
still together.
Mhm.
But we know that from a black love perspective, it does not seem like marriage is the, happily ever after thing that we're going for. And especially for our age group, let's just keep it 100. For those of us that are over the age of 40, marriage, like, been there, done that,
Oh.
got the t-shirt and the divorce papers, and I'm good. Like, oh my god. Wait, Imani. Like, we didn't get started. Who's still hitting?
She was
Cool.
talking about
Oh,
Stedman. She was talking about
oh.
Stedman
Stedman
Okay,
is
stop.
the
Oprah.
Stedman is the longest tenured boyfriend in history.
Listen, I don't
He
even
about
want
Hey,
to
45 years in as a
I don't
boyfriend.
even want to picture Oprah and Stedman having sex. Okay,
Yeah.
so kill
I
the
know the
visual.
visuals.
Kill
It
the
just took me
visual.
out actually. The
I'm
visuals.
just
Okay,
saying.
Tony. Okay, 18 years. I love it.
Hmm.
Now, I do want our audience as we chime in, let us know. Tell us if you are still on about marriage, you want to get married, or if you feeling like some of the celebrities that then came out and you have no desire to get married. Let me hear from y'all. What's up, Raquel? See you in the building. So I'm gonna take it to the he's first, because when y'all say y'all don't want to get married, I think that's socially acceptable, right? Like, we just kind of
Mm-hmm.
expect that y'all don't ever want to get married until you drag, tricked, or whatever down the aisle. However
Hmm.
y'all get there. We manipulate. We give you ultimatums. That's y'all story. That's how y'all get down the aisle. But I'm gonna go ahead to Mr. Smoke Fella.
You just was so stereotypical right now, and you put all men in the box. And I'm like you say, you probably triggered, but I got to call bullshit on what you just said. You
Oh,
trying to put the men in a box like that, and you can't.
oh.
You just assuming. You assuming
Assuming.
just because of what you ran into in your lifetime. You can't
Mm.
put that on everybody
Mm.
else. Just like you don't want us to say because a woman is dressed provocative, she a thought and all of that. Have that same energy. You feel what I'm saying, Lefty? Have that same energy.
All right, all right.
Oh.
Okay, so you
Oh.
coming out the gate hard. Now that you done said all that fluff and stuff, can you answer my question? How? Right. Like, that was all cool. You came for the juggler and everything, but let me reiterate my question again.
Well, I had to
Do
come with the
you
dopeness first.
believe that men want to get married in this day and age? See?
Listen,
Thank
this
you,
is the thing.
Tiana. I'll be 33 in February, and sadly, I don't think I'll ever get married, although I want to.
Are you giving up at 33?
Damn.
Whoa, that's early. You're still early in the game, sweetie. Still early
Hard
in the
out there
game.
Very.
for a pimp.
It's rough out here.
But
So,
listen, listen, honestly speaking, though, it's all about the stage that you're in your life. It's,
Okay.
okay.
it depends on what stage you're in. If you like these stars that just went through some bad breakups and all that, and plus you can't put too much stake in the stars because that's Hollywood. That shit
Mm-hmm.
that's like hills and valley, and it remain fluid, and it keeps on going 360 degrees. So you can't believe in these Hollywood marriages. Okay, you got to look at your moms, dads, and stuff. People that had those individuals that had lasting marriages. If that's what you grew up in, that's what you know, and that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I'm go back and say it depends on what stage of life you are in. If you are immediately out of a breakup, divorce, anything like that, of course the thing is to say, I'm not doing this again. But but
So
if you
you think in our age pool, the struggle for marriage is that many of us have been married, and therefore we ain't ready to tap in again. Is that what I'm understanding? Because,
no,
like, we
what I'm
got
saying is
Imani.
at this age group, if you dating a guy, you're on one page of the book and he's on another. But if y'all
Mm,
came in and y'all was on the same page of the book, it may be a different outcome for you.
interesting. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay, okay, ladies,
Okay.
take notes. Okay, so we need to find like-minded men. Okay, all right. Camo, come on, you the only one that hasn't been married on the
I
panel, right?
know.
I'm putting all your business out
Yep.
there.
I know
So
all my
tell
business
me,
out in the street.
right, right. Tell me like one. You would stereotypically be a red flag. Something wrong with
Oh,
you that you
I'm like several red flags. Never been married, no children. I'm just, yeah,
yeah.
I'm her. I am the red flag, right?
Oh
All
wow,
right, so tell me what you think.
Well,
Like, tell me.
wow.
Wow, he just
but it's true.
okay.
I would be considered to be the stereotypical red flag for some men. I still believe in the institution of marriage, and of course, I did grow up. Like Ben said, I grew up in a family where I saw people married, and then I have friends that have been married and continue to be married. But I think what bothers me is, of course, the older that I've gotten, it's like, oh, the idea is like, will I ever have it? I don't know. I'm still, hopeful, wishful thinking that it'll happen. But like for me, I look around like people that are in these long-term relationships and they never get married. What happens? And we're all getting older. So what happens when you pass? And there's usually like the mate is left out. Like I've literally seen nightmarish situations where people have been together, one of them dies, they've created this whole life together with assets and all sorts of things, and then the family comes in and the mate is left with nothing, or things that aren't attached to them in name. So I believe, and take that out the picture, but I truly still believe in the institution of marriage. I want to get married. I want to have somebody that they're mine. I'm his. We're committed to each other. And I know people say you don't need a piece of paper to say that, but for me, it was how I was raised. So and
I
I
think the
want to
piece of
continue that.
paper matters. I think the fact that you have to say the piece of paper doesn't matter is a lie because, everybody says it's paper. So is your money. So is the title to your
True,
house. So is the
and it
title to
matters.
your car. At
But you
the end
still
of the
got it.
day, it matters, right? Like to me,
Hmm.
it matters. So the paper matters. And I want a man's last name. I'm just keeping
Yeah,
100. I want to carry on the legacy of
legacy.
love,
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I want to
yeah.
carry his last name. I want to carry the legacy of love. But I will say, I am divorced now. Oh, Jesus. Like 5 years. And I've just gotten to the point. I mean, legally, I still carry my ex-husband's name for the purposes of legal because
For the kid. Yeah.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
pain and we got a kid together. But
Wait,
I'm finally getting to
waiting my
that point.
turn, Tom.
I
You
know.
said I was
Be
He
quiet. I said I'm
quiet.
waiting his
waiting my turn.
turn.
Be quiet.
Waiting my
Be quiet.
I'm patient. I'm
But
patient.
I'm just saying, I still believe in marriage, but I ain't gonna lie. As I done got older, I'm feeling a little bit like Tiana. Men ain't in they ain't I can't even get one in a relationship. So marriage, I'm kind of feeling like Tiana and Imani. At this point, I would just be happy to be with somebody in a committed partnership. We get a legal trust so that can't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like it's just not gonna happen. But 'tis the season, DP. Come on. The audience is calling you out. They want to hear
Okay.
what you
Right.
got to
They
say.
want to know what
So,
you
Mm.
think.
what you think?
Marriage isn't dead, but it's dying. It's
Ooh.
dying.
Mm,
I'm not gonna say it's completely dead. You still have people that think like us, people who were raised around marriage and things like that. But then
mm-hmm,
I think so it's a few factors that play. It's a few factors. It's more sociably acceptable not to be married compared to back way when you had to be married. Like the people in power were usually people that were married,
Right.
presidents, and pastors. Like marriage was the thing.
mm-hmm.
So it was sociably like almost unacceptable to not get married. People were asking what was wrong with you if you weren't married by a certain age. Now between role reversals in the household, uh, independency, as far as like between single parenthood, just everything is kind of pushing marriage to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes with the family values as well, because everybody had a role, and now with the roles being all over the place, so no one feels like they have to. And I think another side of it is the horror stories behind it, you know, and even the outside respect for marriage. I remember coming up, if you saw somebody with a ring on, that was off limits instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Now they don't care ring on or not. Cats is hollering. Like it's no one respects it the way they used to. And
Yeah.
and you also see the BS going on, all the creeping and all this, and it makes marriage a little scary. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to get into it, and especially if you ever been through a divorce, depending on how tough that divorce was on you, it is scary to think about possibly going through that again. Even though they say you're not supposed to go
Mm.
into a marriage thinking about divorce, but it's a reality. It's reality, and I think people are afraid that have been married are afraid to go through that again. That's a scary thing.
I totally agree with you with the divorce part. I think divorce, I think you and I have talked about it. Divorce is like grieving for a person that's not dead,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
still
Mm.
walking around, that you see and interact, but they're dead in the role that they used to play. And I think divorce, like, brings out the worst. Like, I used to think funerals brought out the worst, but I
Mhm.
would tell you that you see people who used to say I love you do the worst hurtful things, and it's horrible. I wouldn't wish divorce on anybody. It's not an easy thing to
That's,
go through, and godly.
Jesse
We're
said
not
women
laughing
only
at your
want
statement.
women only want a marriage to pee on other women. Damn. Okay.
Jesse,
Okay.
Jesse.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
first up, shout out to a first time commenter.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you, Jesse.
Jesse a regular on our sports show. But I
Right.
will say, in certain social circles, though, not being married is still frowned upon. Like in
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
certain social
Yes,
circles,
it
it can
is.
be
It
rich.
is. It is.
Politics, it's definitely frowned upon in politics.
Mm.
Even so, even when people think like when Tiger Woods, he was in the golf club with all them. They were all married. He was the single little black dude.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced him to the nanny. We got to hit you with somebody. You can't be
Right.
around our women folk not married. You can't be in this country club
Right.
single.
Go
You
So
get
need
your
let
to
me
be with
wife.
ask you,
somebody.
I
Yeah,
think
go
that
get
brings
your
up a
wife.
good point. And DP, you brought up a good point. So I'm gonna kick this to Camo to kick this question. A lot of conversation has been on the internet talking about what you bring to the table. Do you think the table talk and what someone brings and doesn't bring has like destroyed what we say marriage is or what it's
Oh yeah.
valued at?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
Shit, they set
Uh-huh.
Tiger Woods dumb ass up though. Set him up for the okie doke.
I like you, Jesse.
Jesse, I love your
Y'all
Jesse
know my
humor.
bring
new
All
best
right.
friend.
Jesse bring it on our show every
Right.
Saturday on our
Every
sports
And
show.
Jesse,
Saturday.
he went
If he
for
could ever
the
stay out of
okie doke.
if he could ever stay out of Facebook jail, you will see him all the
Facts.
time.
Oh my
Facts.
gosh. Oh my goodness. You just
Yeah, we can
I
talk
just
all
got
day
the
about
question.
Tiger and his setup and a couple
Mhm.
of other folks setup. But
Right.
Camo, tell me,
Okay.
like
Yes,
the
the table.
table,
Yes,
the
it has
table got it.
changed. Yeah, I think it has changed. I think early on for women, we were raised. I mean, it goes back to how you were raised. You're raised that you go to school, meet a man, you get married, have 2.5 kids, right? So then
Mhm.
somewhere along the line, when the institution of family structures changed, so that was the first thing to change. It became the woman being, the single mom or becoming a caretaker. And now, this whole our women empowerment of get you a career, get your education and do your thing, and then marriage will be later. So I will say personally for me, I never thought I'd wake up like 48 and not be married and not have any children, right? But I think it's very intimidating, especially for me, who is 48, set in my ways, having dated over the years, been single for a number of years as well, to think about now in my later years having a relationship or a marriage with someone else and having to be accountable for their feelings. So I think for me, that whole like what do you bring to the table becomes problematic. because for some women, what you bring to the table is a whole lot. For some of us, it has changed.
That
I
luggage
mean, not only do
heavy,
you
ain't
bring your education, your income, but you bring your issues, because many of
it?
us have issues a little
Yes.
different now than what they were back in the day. Some
Yes.
of us have many unresolved issues.
Mhm.
So we bringing a whole shitload to the table, as opposed to back in the day when you got the sweet little girl and she just coming home from college, or she the virgin, and here you go, and you're gonna deflower her and you got a great woman. You now have so much. And then, Teddy brings up a great point. This whole
Okay,
not
Tandy,
needing
we
a
about
man.
to argue. Let's go.
Right.
Now the
But
heat is on. I'm
that
fired
is
up now.
true. Because
With
we
me.
want to, but we're not gonna go into the whole like
Man.
how women that are established have trouble in the dating pool. Because we do. We don't acknowledge that
Let's
that
keep it
often.
one.
We have.
I'm just gonna say this. I wholeheartedly I don't think men are threatened,
God
but
damn,
I
squirrel.
think there are two levels of really. I think there are two level of women's
Yeah,
women,
you tripping
women
today.
folk,
women,
women
and
folk.
I think men go for the easier ones. They go for the ones that
Well, here's the here's the counter to all that, and this is where men struggle with as you all say, you women that bring so much to the table, men have a need to be needed,
Correct.
right? So if you come to the table like you don't need nothing, you got it all. I'm not needed, and it shows in your attitude. It shows in how you approach things. It shows in how you act.
But
So
that's not
that's
always
so
true though, dog.
it does. But you might not realize it. Not saying that in a bad way either. I'm not saying that
I
in a
got
black.
you.
I'm not saying it's a bad attitude, but I mean you see it. I mean, and if a man doesn't feel needed, then I mean we need our ego struggle. Let's call it what it is. We need our ego. We need our we need to be pumped up at times. We need to feel like that. If you can do everything I can do as far as financially and all that, some of y'all out here painting houses and cleaning gutters. Like it's getting real in the field out here.
You're right.
So then a man's asking himself, what is my need other than my penis? And we all know how long that lasts.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
well,
it
I
always more than
think
that.
Tiana hit on something. She said she thinks she's still single because she's too independent. I'm gonna say this. I am independent. I'm bossy, but it is out of necessity, not out of desire. And
desire. Correct.
I think many of us don't know how to stand down when we meet a man who
Mm-hmm.
actually
Ooh.
go ahead, filthy animal,
You
because he looked
know,
Sandy
like he
hit it
got
on the
some.
head though.
I'm so tired of hearing the word independent drop. Okay, you independent, but that has nothing to do with love. People have forgotten how to love and want to throw this word, I'm independent, I'm independent. But do you know how to love somebody? Do you know how to receive somebody's love?
I think Tandy put it right there, and I'm gonna say
She
this.
did. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing I took away from my divorce, what I could have did better, different, was I didn't know how to stand down. I was so used to doing that I absolutely stepped all over his ego. Because if he didn't do it, I do it. Call my daddy to do it. Somebody to do it. I ain't waiting on you. I ain't gotta
Mm-hmm.
wait on you. And I never understood until later what that meant. But I think Tandy brings up a good point. Many of us are yelling independent because we're insecure. And we feel like, and I'm gonna keep it 100,
And
because
he's
men would
insecure.
I
choose
thought
with
she said the
He
man is
said he
insecure.
insecure.
His insecure.
Not we.
no. Oh well,
Right, she said his
I
insecure.
took, but I'm gonna absolutely say it's some independent women who use that because they don't believe that they are going to find someone. So it's
So
better
it's a
for me to
cop out.
pretend it.
But
For
no,
some people,
so
it is a cop out.
here's my thing, and this is my struggle with when we talk about this, not we per se, but just in general, is that we put the onus on the woman that again, I got to stroke your ego, still be a woman, still cook, still have my professional life, but yet at the end of the day, I still have to stroke your ego and make you feel like who you are. And I remember my mama told me years ago, I was dating this guy. And she was like, look, let me tell you something, Tiffany, because you know you big headed and you don't want to listen, you don't like to stand down. She was like, if he say he gonna do something, leave it there until he does it. So you
Mm-hmm.
know what? I left that damn bookcase in the box for damn near 3 months, and he still didn't do it. So guess who ended up doing it anyway? Me.
Then
But
let
But
it
no,
my point is,
then let it sit.
but them personal
but again,
experiences.
Then let it sit.
what you
So
say?
let me ask you this question. That's a personal experience that kind of stuck with you. But let me ask you guys this question. You women's, you
Women
women's,
folk.
Women
Women's,
folk.
women's. Yeah. Let me
women's,
ask you
we
this
Women
women's
question.
folk.
tonight.
Say for instance, this is just a hypothetical. Y'all meet
Mhm.
the perfect man.
Okay.
He checks all your boxes. He bring it to the table. You
Mhm.
know what? He putting up little stands that don't have to sit for months and stuff. He doing it all. He asks you to marry him. Y'all both financial and all of that. He asks you to marry him, but the only caveat is he say, "I want you to sign a prenup."
Oh,
You lose
that's
your
a.
mind. Women lose your mind,
I
but
would.
y'all
I,
independent.
I, I may ask for
I
a
would
damn
say
prenup.
this.
What you talking
What I'm
about?
I
saying
would
is,
wear a prenup because I got as much to protect
You
coming
got
in.
women
I
having
got
prenups now.
screwed in
hey,
my
I
I'm
divorce.
just
don't have a
saying.
You
problem with
asking
doing
the
a
wrong
prenup.
women.
I'm just saying. For the women,
I'm gonna
that
say this. I got
that
Thank you.
becomes an
screwed
issue.
in my divorce, so I'm happy to sign a prenup if it is
Correct.
fair. Now,
Correct.
what we not finna do is have a lopsided prenup. But I
And
mean
we talking
that
prenup when we talking millions. We ain't talking about
Yeah. Yeah. We
we
ain't
go to
talking about
work
your
every
$10
day
an hour
prenup.
job.
Right? We ain't
Yeah,
talking about us going to work every day prenups.
but guess
Now we
what?
got millions. That's different. Now we
Guess
got
That's
to
what?
talk
different.
like that.
You'll have a chick that's on fries at McDonald's that want this man to bring ABC to the table. But what you bringing to the table? Will we been snapping in the comments over there?
he has
My
been.
man
He
been
has.
snapping
He's
over
talking
there.
about
Well, hold
You
on,
know what I'm
because
saying?
I want to respond to Tandy. Tandy said I'm independent. I'm independent and a boss, but in a relationship, lead me. I don't want the role. It
Correct.
sound good in stereo. A lot of women say that. I don't want, but then it ends up being a tug of war in the house, and that's the whole
Not
thing. The
always.
one thing we don't. I'm not struggling to lead. Like, and it's hard for you all to give up that power.
But here's
But
the here's
but
the
here's the
beauty
thing. A
in
lot of y'all,
this.
if you've been single so long, independent for so long, doing it on your own for so long, it's hard to give that power away. Y'all can
it is.
say it, y'all want to, but it's
It's
not easy
hard
to
to
get that
give it
power away.
away. But here's the thing: if a woman is telling you, so here's the thing. I think when we run up against that piece where it's that struggle, is because I don't think the men believe that the women are willing to let you lead. So my thing is, if I'm willing to let you lead, that means I trust you. I trust that you're gonna lead me and you're gonna do the right thing by me in this relationship. So even now, my knucklehead boyfriend will tell you I'm a hothead. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell no. But I let him lead because he is the man. I'm giving him that level of respect. But I don't think men believe that women will allow them to do so because of this whole like she been on her own for this long. She don't want to do this. But guess what? At the end of the day, let me tell you, every day I go to work, I take care of my 12 staff, my 5,000
Right,
kids.
Will. You
And when
gonna
I
tell me
come
how to
home,
lead?
and but I'm not gonna tell you how to lead though. But when I come home, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the go-to person. I don't want to be the superwoman. I want to be able to take off my cape and just be
Camo,
Tiffany
once again,
and
it
Kiki.
sound good in stereo. But
Right.
I think I
Listen.
think especially women have a hard time. It's just like some people say it's hard working for women bosses. I agree. I totally agree with that. I didn't have some good
My
ones.
staff love
I
me.
didn't have some good ones, bad ones, but we didn't. But we've been in situations where women would bring outside stuff to work as far as in their attitude and things like
Mhm.
that. Sometimes it's hard to separate because women are very emotional creatures, right? You can tell when things ain't going good at home. You can tell, from the morning email, like she ain't having it today, y'all. Fall back. You know what I mean? So, and it goes on, but it's the same thing that goes on in the household. Like you say, you a boss at work. You used to being in charge. It's hard to give up that power when you're
It
used
is,
to having it for so many
but
years at your house,
it
at
can
your
be
job,
done if
and
it's
now you
done for
get
the
into a
right person.
relationship. Now I'm going. It sounds great. I love how it
Okay,
sounds.
so time out. So let me just say this. DP, I actually believe I agree with you. I think that when I am it becomes a natural reflex if that's my daily
Mm-hmm.
job to strategically fix stuff and to take charge,
Mhm.
that is a natural reflex. But I gotta agree with Camo Chick. I'm gonna tell you exactly why we don't know how to stand down. I trust me. I know what I can accomplish. I know what I can
Mhm.
do. And
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you that many of you misstep in the beginning of a relationship with a woman, and we lose our trust that you will
Mm.
lead
Yep.
us. And it's usually something simple, but it's very selfish. And it's like, oh, so you going to do what's best for you when the rubber hits the road, which means I can't trust you because to lead, to be submissive, and lead means I have to trust you're in front of me. If we do like a picture, you're in front of me and I can't see
Okay.
what you see. I gotta
Okay.
trust that you are not leading me into danger. I got your back, but you got my front. And the problem is we don't trust that y'all are telling us what
So
y'all saying to me.
if you feel that way and you don't trust, don't accept the ring, sweetie. Don't accept the ring. Leave it at
First
that.
Well,
up,
we ain't even
Don't
there
yes,
yet.
don't
give
don't
me the
don't
ring.
accept it.
Hold on, let's
We
go.
If
ain't
we at
even
that
there
if we
yet.
at that point,
Let's
if you
go
feel
back
like
to
I
the
can't lead
topic.
you, you don't trust me
Like,
to
let's go
lead,
back.
then
Y'all
don't
ain't
take the
giving
relationship no
the ring.
further. But
We ain't
but
even got
Because
the
you
ring
ain't
yet.
giving.
even in a
We ain't even that.
we were talking about marriage at first. But let's just talk
That's
about even
true.
in a relationship. If you don't trust me, then let's stop wasting time. If you let's
I
stop
don't
wasting
trust you to
time and end
lead.
it. If you don't
I
trust
don't
me to
trust
lead,
you.
then
That's
that's
a
the
double
wrong right
negative.
there.
That's a double negative. So stop before you even make that comment.
If you don't trust me to lead, you don't trust me to be your man. So
But
why are
here's
you still my lady?
but will you agree that a lot of times, and I agree with what Love Bug said, is
Ladies, put
that
the hearts up
our
because the
we
men
kick
ain't hearing us.
in, we kick in. We'll tell
Y'all ain't
you,
hearing
I'm
us.
gonna let you lead, and I will say I'll be the first one to say this because I'm known as the fixer. You call me in a clutch, I'm gonna take care of shit. It don't matter what time we call and what time. And all my girls on here know you call me. It don't matter what it's about. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna handle it. So that's who I am. But when I'm with my man or with the guy that I'm dating, I'm trusting that that's your role. So if we are in a situation and I'm seeing that you ain't stepping up to do whatever needs to be done, then I'm gonna kick in and
Robert,
say,
give me the
move to the
laugh, because that's
side,
what I said. Go ahead.
move to the side, and then let me do this, and we can come back to it. But men don't do the simple things. Like we'll say we going out for the night. Where we going, babe? I don't know. Whatever you say.
So you
Boo, I
putting
need
all
you to
us in
make a
the box.
decision.
You putting all us in the
Huh?
box.
There you go.
You put all us in the
I'm
box.
not
You
putting
say
you all in
There
the
you
men.
box, but
go.
these are
Excuse
the
me.
simplistic things that occur
Trigger.
to why women say,
Stereotypical,
How I do the
you,
trigger thing? I ain't got
are
no
you
help.
stereotype
triggered?
biases.
Are you
I
triggered?
ain't got no help. I ain't got no help. I ain't know how to do it. Yeah, I'm
You
triggered.
know what?
A little
But
We
triggered.
and
gotta
it goes
address
back.
William. Will been talking mess.
Right. You
Listen,
gonna
Will,
tell me
we're
how to
not.
lead.
I'm not
I'm
telling you
not
You
how to
can't
telling
lead.
tell
you
me
how
how
to
to
But if you
lead.
lead.
can't make a simple decision like when we going on a date, come on
Wait,
now.
I'm not telling you how to lead. What I'm saying is what's happening. And y'all don't have to agree with it, but acknowledge that it's happening. Somewhere down the line, I'm telling you that women, we don't want to be the man and the woman. There ain't a woman on here that's going to tell you that we want to take the garbage out. We want to put gas in our car. We want to do all the things that we do. But we do it because
Right.
somewhere down the line, we
Necessity.
relied and waited on a man to put the bookcase together and he didn't do it. So now we don't wait. That's the
He didn't
reality.
do it on your timeline. Don't say he didn't do it.
3 months?
He didn't do it on your timeline. Hey,
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I
and
need
you
to add on the other? Do
you
I
knew
need
he
to
was a
add on the other
procrastinator. You knew he
cabinet
was a
that he never
procrastinator
fixed
when you
and
got
we
with
done
him.
broke up?
You knew he was a procrastinator when you got with him and you stayed with him. And that's why the bookcase stayed on the
and,
but you know
floor
what?
for 3
But
months.
and
here's the
Will
thing: you
is dropping
procrastinate about
bars.
us.
Y'all
That's
Exactly.
don't
not.
step up. We step up. Y'all fall back, and it becomes this unhealthy cycle where we're doing
Yes.
something we don't want to do,
You
and
damn
y'all
right.
want to do it, but we don't. But can we talk about the fact that if a woman is not following you, same way there are bad bosses and your employees don't follow you because
Mm-hmm.
you're not putting forth, let's
Mm-hmm.
actually put some onus on some men that if you are
Correct.
struggling with a woman following
Right.
you, you got to fix your leadership skills.
Facts.
Correct.
Those are
Why?
facts.
Whoa,
Now,
whoa,
And
whoa,
y'all,
whoa.
we quit
Why is
and
blaming
it?
the
hold on
women.
to
Why is it that we
address
gotta fix our leadership skills and you just can't be a hard-headed mother?
it might be
What?
both.
Family show.
And he just
But it's
Hey, I
always
did
on the
finish
woman.
it,
Y'all put
but
it always on the woman though. You triggered us all.
I don't think no man wants a power struggle. Look, in my household, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that wear the drawers with the dick hole in them. Don't nobody else wear the drawers with the dick hole in them except me in my house. Period. I'm not struggling for no power. I'm not. I'm gone. I'm not dealing with that. If I gotta have a tug of war, and I'm not gonna go through that day. Like we said, we'll fall back. But I'm at that point in my life, I won't even fall back. I'll just bounce. I'm not struggling with that.
But here's one or the other. You know what I found out, DP, is that a lot of times, and you all can say what you want. A lot of times, a lot of this stuff is born from the man. Like we literally, I could be sitting there minding my own business, and case in point, at a function, conversation, we're playing a game, 5-second rule. Yeah, everybody plays 5-second rule where they give you a topic, you got to name 5 things. So rolled around to one of the young ladies. She made her comments for her 5 seconds, and the dude didn't like him. So he started calling her, you a bougie bitch. You don't know how, it was crazy. You a bougie bitch. You don't know this. And so what did she do? She turned around, you know what? Add a JD to that bitch. Cause I'm a JD. I'm a lawyer up in this piece. So why you talking shit? And it was all about the fact he was intimidated by her, but he kicked it off to like, you think you the ish. You don't know how to submit to a man, blah, blah, blah. So again, a lot of this is y'all's insecurity, not y'all.
Maybe that was an isolated event where he tried to shoot his shot at it and she turned him down, because that seems like there's more to that story. Just in some 5-second things, and he just went off. It's some more to that.
I mean, it was a whole evening of activity, but it boiled down to he did try to shoot a shot with her, and she wasn't trying to listen. Because
I've been dropped a bar.
Another thing.
Yeah, so that's why he was agitated.
The retort is use a bougie bitch because you don't want to talk to me. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so
that's you already walked in intimidated.
And at the end of the day, but going back to the marriage thing, right? And why a lot of people aren't denouncing it, which is where we started this conversation at. I've said a million times on this show that value is based off need. People don't value marriage. And that's why I say it's dying. You value things you need. Now, my man Squirrel Brian said he wants to be needed. He wants to be wanted, not needed. But need is a big part of it. And now we're also, and even men are independent, women are independent. So what is our need for each other? Like, where does the need come in? Where do we need to sign this piece of paper and share everything that we brought to the table, and we can really handle it all on our own? So no one really values it anymore. So what's the need for getting married? That's how a lot of people think.
But you know what? Let me call BS right now. We do need it. We want it. It is a human nature. Let me just
I agree with that. I agree with this need.
We have bought into the societal BS. And I'm going to also put this out there. This is my conspiracy theory. This is a black thing. Like, we're the only race that is struggling with the definition of marriage like this. We are still the ones, and strategically, even now with what is going on with the racial discrimination and the marching, they are promoting Black women and pushing us in a way that they're not doing Black men. Okay.
Right.
And that and so all I'm gonna say is, as long as you keep us like this, we can't come together. And so if you keep pushing Black women up the corporate ladder to get education, then going back to what Robin said, you can't find a man with your standards, right? Because at some point you're gonna have to compromise something, because Black women are exceeding any other race and gender with education. So if I got a master's, the pool of Black men, if I want a Black husband, the pool of Black men with masters or white collar jobs that match what I match, small. Then the ones that ain't gay, smaller. And then the ones that ain't chose a white woman because they tired of Black women stuff, smaller. Then the ones that's single,
that's totally unnecessary,
smaller. And then the ones that are single that want to get married again don't exist. So like, we just really got to.
So the pool is dwindling down, right?
So let me say this: just because an individual, I'm not gonna say male or female, just because your education level is through the roof, don't mean your relationship education is through the roof either.
It doesn't. But But when we are met, that's usually where it starts for a lot of men. They go about what our economic status is, what our educational status is, what kind of job we have. Those are all the things that are on Front Street. And I will
That's
tell
what
you, I've met
are you?
guys, they don't
Is
even
that what
ask,
you think
they
that
don't even
that's
think
what
about you
guys?
getting stuff.
That's what guys care about when they first meet you. I mean, meet a woman.
That's what I get asked. I've had guys, let me tell you, I've had
Guys
guys
are
go
looking
research
at
me.
ass,
Nah,
I have
breasts,
had
and everything else
that
before they
too.
even think
And
about
then
all of
add the
that.
fact
So let's
on
just keep that real.
they don't care if you got a
no,
GED.
so that part's important. But then once they try to get to know you, it all of these other things start adding up. I've had guys go research me. I've had
I
guys
think
Google
those
me.
are
Don't
red
Google me right
flags.
now.
I
Yeah,
don't think.
but
But wait,
go
guys,
ahead,
I
go ahead,
don't
go
think
ahead.
that what she's saying is that they look at that and it go in her plus column.
No,
It doesn't. They're not looking at her
No,
like, "Ooh,
no.
she bring that to the table." I think
So,
you
it
guys
goes into how
don't.
difficult is she gonna be.
but there's also a misconception that someone with a master's degree is actually smart or intelligent.
Right.
Like we kind of get
Doesn't
lost in that
matter.
too. Like it
It
does
goes
matter.
it
Or
if you are
wait a
meeting
minute.
guys that so
So
like
so you
Love Bug
but you're
said,
saying
we not.
standard.
But here's the thing: what Love Bug just stated to you is that a lot of times our dating pool. So if we were trying to date match for match on who we are, where we are in life, that pool is like this.
But
So
wait a minute.
in order to
But you're
broaden, a
setting
lot
a
of times we
standard.
don't get guys that are there.
But you're not setting the standard off person to person. You're setting the standard off accomplishments. I'm setting the stand. You're setting the standard off because he's just as educated as me. Does that mean he's just as mature? Does that mean he has the same
No,
family
it
values?
doesn't.
We're not
Does that
saying that,
mean
but
he ain't a
It doesn't.
dog? Does that mean he's not abusive?
Exactly.
Does it mean he's
but
in values
but
marriage?
here's the thing: people tend to date in the same circles of which they hang in. So if I hang in a circle that is here, the dating pool here with us is pretty much non-existent. So
Everywhere
in order
you
to
go,
expand,
ain't a bunch of master degree having folks.
but I'm just
Right.
it doesn't matter. So if I hang it with it, so if I come in y'all circle, most of y'all
Right.
taken. Am I right?
But you got a lot of blue collar cats in our circle.
Most of y'all, but no, here I'm
You
talking
have
about
a
like-minded
lot of
people,
blue collar
and I'm
cats.
talking about like-minded mentally. I'm talking about like-minded mentally.
Right.
So if I come in y'all circle, majority of y'all circle is taken. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I don't know. About half and half.
Yes.
Stop lying.
Let me
They
just
are.
go and
But
I don't know.
pretty much, I would say 90% of the dudes that y'all hang out with, they in relationships or they married.
What they got
Or
to do with the mental
situationship.
thing you just started with?
But you
But
know what? You
So
just
you saying
you
white
didn't hear,
collar and blue collar can't have the same mentality?
you didn't hear
I
what
didn't
he
say-
just said. He
I
said
just
blue
said
collar. It's a bunch of blue collar
like-minded
workers that
people.
work as police officers, work for
The
trains,
train
the rail
station.
We
yards,
cool with
whatever.
that. We
But-
cool with
but
that. We're
You
cool
trying to
with
tell
that.
me that
But
he
it's
doesn't
still
meet your
the pool
level?
is still this
He
small.
don't meet your level just because he's a blue collar
But I'm
worker?
telling
So
you,
let
the
me
pool
just
is still this small.
so let me bring in what the audience is saying and what I think Camel Chick is saying, or at least where I think we're going. Finances matter.
They
And
do.
I'm gonna throw your own words back to you, Damani.
Mhm.
Y'all need to be needed. And you do not feel needed by a woman who makes more money than you. And y'all, the same way you said that y'all, we want to stand down, but we don't know how to stand down. I'm going to tell you that men don't want nobody that makes more. You want us to bring enough to the table that we comfortable, but you do not, your ego will not let you comfortably sit with a woman that makes more money than you.
Some men can, some
Real
men
talk.
can't. Some men can deal with it.
No,
Some
they
men
got real
can't.
quiet.
No,
They got real-
some men, but
He
some
be trying to work out that answer.
some men can, some men can't because
I could be
most of us are raised in a family where, if you were raised with both mother and father, typically the man was the breadwinner,
Was the caretaker, yes.
and that's what we witnessed. That's what we saw.
And
So
that's
it's
fair.
still going to be, I mean, so some men are very uncomfortable with it. I still know guys who won't let their women work. I actually know cats like that.
And I
Like,
don't
no,
think
they
that
don't want
it's
women to
just,
work.
I don't think it's just the finances. I think it's how we handle the finances. And I also think, and going back to leading, because if I make more money than you and I got to put all my money into the account and let you spend it your way, and we ain't we can say all day that it don't matter, but I'm gonna tell you, I was married to a blue collar man, and the further I went up the ladder, And the more he couldn't relate to my day, to my struggles,
Mhm.
the more uncomfortable he felt when I needed to go to business circumstances, the more he couldn't comprehend that some business deals got closed in bars after business hours. And it became a trust issue because I was in a world that he didn't
He didn't
understand.
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 Correct.
Right.
And so
Correct.
at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. Like-mindedness doesn't mean that it means we degree to
So
degree,
I'm
money to
gonna throw
money.
this back at you, Love Bug. I guess you wasn't doing a good job of communicating that lifestyle for him to understand.
But
He
you
didn't want
can. But
to
if you feel like you
understand.
don't measure up, so again, we tossing it back on the
Now
woman. It
that's
becomes the woman's
insecurity.
fault that the
That's
man is
insecurity.
insecure
Right.
about
That's
what's
insecurity.
going on in the situation.
That's definitely insecurity in that situation.
I mean,
That
at the end of the day, all I'm saying is we can keep it 100 on this, and it sounds good on paper. But going back to what D always say, Damani always say that you need to be needed. Men
no,
have been trained in society to be providers. I ain't bitter. I better. Trust
definitely,
me. Glad I let that go.
definitely.
On the
But I
bit.
mean, that is so true. But so look at
Agreed,
going back to
William.
what you said earlier about
Hold on, let me go back
how
to
the
what
black
William
women.
said. I didn't
Okay.
marry the wrong man. We outgrew each other. And this is what I'm saying. When we started
Y'all
off, he
started at a
made
certain
more
thing, and
money than me.
then you went up.
But I got my bachelor's. Then I went for my master's. And then I like jumped in salary. And that was when it became a problem. When I was working at the welfare department, we was good.
You
When
was
we was
good.
making the same amount of money, we
Mhm.
was good. When
Then
I
his
doubled in
insecurities kicked in.
salary, it became an issue. So it's about he couldn't keep pace with me on a career path, and that became an issue.
So in
Mhm.
that case, going back to what you were speaking culturally, as black women tend to get pushed
Yes.
up, I dare somebody to Google who was the highest rated as far as like filing for divorce. It's black women. Look it up.
Of course.
Well, it's black women file for divorce more than
Y'all
any
cannot believe it
race,
all you want to. There
anything.
is a
It's way
societal
you can Google this
scheme
whole thing.
to
It tell
keep
you
us separate.
to
Like
keep us separate.
there is a societal scheme. And I'm telling you, even in corporate America, if you look at all of these corporations that are pushing diversity right now, they're pushing diversity with black women. With black women. You ain't seeing a bunch of black men that's got, you know what, Jesse? You ain't seeing, you not seeing. And yes, are there exceptions to the rule? Like what Robin said? Absolutely, there are exceptions to
Mhm.
rules.
Right.
And there are men who would cheer me on, and there are men that would be stay home. Absolutely. But the reality is, men want to be needed. And
Mhm.
because we push this independent woman thing, the minute I financially get to a place that on paper it looks like I don't need you financially, it hit.
It's a
Now
wrap.
I got to
Well then,
stroke your ego in a whole nother way that I don't know how to do.
he shouldn't be comfortable. If you constantly moving up and he comfortable where he at, that's a problem in itself. Then if you see your spouse moving up, then that should inspire you to step your game up. Now,
Exactly.
if you comfortable just working in the customer service department and you constantly moving up the executive ladder, then yeah, that's gonna definitely be a problem. That meant because that right there shows the mentality is different. You're not trying
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
move up. That's a different
Mhm.
mentality in itself. But I think
Mhm.
when we talk standards, I think people get caught up, especially us black folks. We are the worst at it. We get caught up in what we were talking about earlier. What level of education? How much money you make? What's your title? We get so caught up in that, and that doesn't dictate what a good man or a good woman is, because you could be an asshole and all that with all those accomplishments, and
You
it
can
might
Absolutely.
be.
not be necessarily a
Exactly.
good fit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Absolutely.
So, but we have
Yeah.
that has become, as you say, our standard.
It's the standard. Yeah. You got to check
And
the
it
boxes.
and I think again, I still think that's a societal
It's
ploy. Like
it's some good
your
dudes that drive
husband,
trucks.
Right.
It's some real
your
good dudes that
husband,
drive trucks.
yeah,
Some real good
and
dudes that
make
drive
good
trucks.
money
Right.
and
Right.
are
Right.
faithful and loyal. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what we want anymore. You know what I'm saying? What we
Mhm.
want is
That's
what
because
society is pushing.
they got these societal check the boxes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these boxes
Yep,
that you want checked don't fit your demographics.
Exactly. Everybody want a Russell
exactly.
Wilson, But Russell Wilson make what, 30 million a year, damn near. Like
And
everybody,
Russell ain't all
it's
black.
not right. It's not the fact that he took on her child, her kid outside of him, and he's this with the baby hair, nice cat. It's somebody put a part. I think it was what's the dude name?
I'm just gonna I'm gonna
This,
call
the
I'm
baby
gonna go
hair.
ahead and
I
take
had
this
to put
hit.
it out there.
I'm
But
gonna
the
go
baby
ahead and
hair.
take this hit from the women. Stop playing. We didn't have Russell Williams
You didn't
in
have
our
Russell Wilson.
boxes.
You've had.
Wilsons. We didn't have him in our boxes, but he
And
ain't
let
thug
him go.
enough
He wasn't a
because
millionaire.
Right, he wasn't thug enough.
No, he
He was too
wasn't a
nice.
millionaire.
no,
Or
he
he was
could have
too
been
nice.
making good money, but
He was too
he
nice.
didn't do something. The chemistry wasn't there because he didn't have
Right.
that. I don't feel protected. Like
We want a little knuck if you buck somewhere in
So,
the whole checklist.
that goes to what social media is guiding. Between social media, music, entertainment, everything is guiding our mindset, right? To look,
please get Jesse.
it's guiding our mindset to make us think perfection is a reality, and it's not.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
There's
just
this
not.
false.
Yeah.
There's a
It's the
false
false
sense
sense of this
on
perfection
social
thing.
media of perfection. But
Mhm.
listen, I do want to say this. I believe in the institution of love. I ask normal people that I'm around, and I'm gonna tell you the one thing that I love here in El Paso is I got to witness real marriages, like real marriages between two chocolate people who love each other and have been there. And I will tell you that it's a lot of people that's been married for a lot of years and clocked a lot of years, but and got a lot to say, and their marriage is a sham. And
Right.
it's other people that ain't never got married, but their relationship is tight. Like everything about they are like-minded and in agreement. They either don't want to get married or whatever it is. Like-mindedness is the key.
Mm-hmm. But like-mindedness doesn't necessarily mean accomplishments, salary, things like that. That's what I'm saying. Like that's when we talk like-mindedness, that's what we talking. We're not talking where you work and all that. Like-mindedness is how we how we view marriage, how we view how a household should be ran, how we define our roles. That's like-mindedness, not I graduated from Harvard. You went to Chicago State.
But here's the thing, DP. There is a
I'm better
segment
than you.
of our culture that applies. The pedigrees. When you start thinking about the upper echelon of black folks, that old black money, new black money, that's important for them. And you can't even walk in the room, or you can't date their child if you don't fit certain pedigrees.
And let's be 100.
We talking
that
about
is,
the average Joe Brown, and Jane Doe. That's who
But
we're
I think,
talking about
but
right
it's
now.
important to acknowledge that happens as well. I mean, yes, most of us are the traditional middle class, or lower class, of the of the culture.
We all
but there are certain things that do happen that.
Damn.
These comments off the chain.
I'm gonna say this, and we getting close to the end of our hour, and this is a great topic. We're gonna have to touch on this again, but I do want to say this. I want to say that as Black people, we got to get back to our definition of jumping the broom. Because back during slavery days, we understood what marriage meant, and we wouldn't let anybody else redefine it for us. Right. Even if it meant that the only way that we could signify that that was my husband and that was my wife was to create a broom and jump over it. Now we are allowing too many other people to define marriage for us, and then that definition don't exist for Black people. Like,
is it other people or society? Just society as a whole, everything around you.
I think it's everything around us. And I think we have to also understand we are probably the first generation that didn't grow up. Everybody grew up in a two-parent household. We were the beginning of the single-parent households.
We
now
dropped the ball. We dropped the ball.
Yeah, and now we're dating people where it's like, I grew up in a two-parent household, but you didn't grow up in a two-parent household. So your definition of marriage don't look like my definition of marriage. And now we're repeating that cycle. Look, we just gotta choose better. We just gotta choose better.
Ben, remember when it was just cool if you just had a car? You know,
Right.
back in the day, it didn't matter what it
Right.
was.
Right.
It didn't
was.
matter.
You had a car.
It didn't have to.
It
It didn't have
didn't.
to be a BMW.
You was mobile.
It didn't have to be a Cadillac truck. As long as you was
But
mobile.
if you had a 5.0,
If you had that Stang, though. If you had that Stang, you was that dude. You had that Mustang. But it was.
If you had that saying, you can just drop nuts.
But even
Christmas.
with that, society is telling you, you know, if you ain't carrying this type of purse, if you ain't wearing this type of shoe, these type of shoes, if you ain't driving this type of car, and I think we are getting brainwashed by that, especially Black folk. We fall for it more than anybody.
Of course, because
Like, we
it's
fall for
tailored
it
to
more than
us. We are
anybody.
consumers.
Yeah.
We are consumers, so it's
and we're
tailored
the
to
largest
us.
group of consumers.
See, Rich agree. You have 5.0, you could get it.
5.0. Look,
Back in the
That
day,
5.0, that
oh,
Stang
you
was
could have
that
been,
deal.
you could have looked like the bottom of my shoe if you driving a
Yeah.
5.0. Please.
My first
those
car
some
was
truths and rolls.
My first car was an 85 color Sierra. Do you think a little shorty these days could come up in a 95 anything? They're gonna get laughed at. I'm talking about shorties. They want their first car 2021, brand new. Like you can't just have a whip. You need to have that thing.
You gotta have the whip.
Yeah, the whip. Yeah, I mean, it is.
But listen, this was a great conversation. Again, I want you guys to send up the hearts if you felt like the ladies was hitting on the bars tonight. Go ahead and send up the hearts. If you feel like the fellas, go ahead and send up the laugh emojis. These shorties stealing cars nowadays. That's true.
That's true. That's true.
That's
why they carjack.
That's facts.
But I
don't
feel
know
like
about
we
y'all, but I'm
have to
seeing
have
tons of
another
hearts.
conversation because this definitely was the first time in a long time we had a good battle of the sexes. So, audience, I need y'all to go ahead, put them hearts up and put them laugh emojis up. We will definitely determine who won this battle of the sexes by the emojis.
We coming up.
Y'all coming up.
That's because they're over there. The guys are like this.
Yeah, the guys is over there. Ladies, hit them hearts. Hit them hearts.
Hit them hearts, y'all.
But at the end of the day, Will Wheat dropped the bars. We're going to give him the bar award tonight. Goes to Will Wheat. He said both parties got some work to do. All I would tell you is if you want to get married, listen, keep hope alive, like Jesse Jackson would say, and hope that you find somebody that's like-minded. And make sure that your marriage looks the way you need your marriage to, not like what everybody else says it should look like. That's me signing out. I'm finna kick it to Tis the Season, DP, Lucky Lefty. Go ahead and sign us out for the night.
Thank you for joining us again on this Tuesday night.
Can y'all get Jesse, please?
Hey, Jess. If we can keep Jesse out of Facebook jail, Jesse is a regular. He is hilarious all the time. We got to get him on. We got to actually get him on camera. That's my man, 100 grand. Right. He is just as hilarious in person as he is behind that keyboard. He's hilarious. But hey, man, thank y'all for joining us. These conversations, you know, we try to come up with topics that everybody can kind of relate to. You know, that's kind of something that that's one of the, like, tonight's topic was one of those that a lot of people kind of struggling with. You know, and this has been, and we go on a lot of different like relationship groups and try to find, you know, what people are really talking about, so we can kind of bring it to the table, so we can all kind of, you know, hopefully the words we say, somebody, even if it's just one of y'all, can take that with you, and, you know, maybe it can help your love life out a little bit. But
or at least don't do what we did wrong.
Yeah, at least right. Don't do what we did wrong. But yeah, peace out, man. Get ready for Christmas, man. Hope y'all did y'all Christmas shopping. I ain't bought jack yet. But
quality time and hugs is all you getting from me this year. All right. Hold on. According to his contract, he has to have a thorough and direct intro and outro. So Mr. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, Mr. Smoke Fella, go ahead and sign us out.
Listen, I just kind of piggyback off left, but the thing is, we enjoy all the comments and everything. Hope we can help anybody out there. Just one person is enough for us. But I'll tell you this, man. When my marriage and stuff was over, I'm widowed and all that, I was going to be the most interesting man, like the dude on Dos Equis. That was my thing. My mama talked to me and was like, man, would you get married again? And I said no. That was the way I was at that point in my life. However, I met a beautiful individual That has changed.
Aw.
That has
On a
changed. And
car drive to
we
Indy.
man, hey, hey, just like I said,
Road trip.
change my life.
Ah,
Sipping on gin and juice.
Right. Changed my life.
yeah.
And I wasn't looking for it. But now, you know what? Yeah, we get married. So it changes the whole
Ooh.
dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on where you at in your life. I mean, when you're not looking, it can come smack you right in your face. So for all those individuals out there that love, it's out there for you. You just got to let it
Oh,
find you.
yeah.
Don't go out chasing it.
Is it bull clock?
Wow, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, that car ride, it was bull clock. You didn't know it was bull clock.
At the
But your
gas
clock
station.
is straight.
Today's message is maybe it's you.
Right.
Why you where you at? Maybe it's you.
Well, in
Maybe
all
it ain't on
actuality,
everybody else. Maybe it's you.
my game was strong.
Oh,
Period.
I'm finna throw up.
oh.
There you go. It
I'm
was
finna
real
say.
nice, and then yeah, now I'm finna throw up. Anyway, all
I,
right, Camo, Santa's
I
out.
don't.
Like
I don't even know how to come behind
I don't
that.
know how you come behind rings
I
and
don't have any
things and stuff.
professions of love.
I'm trying to see what's that Joy Sis put up on the thing. What's that?
I
She
know.
Is
got
that
I
like
can't.
reindeer?
dancing. We
Oh,
Oh,
dancing. We
dancing.
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 Okay.
No,
With the
no,
brown house.
but
Okay.
seriously, I truly, the one thing I enjoy about talking about relationships is hearing the perspectives of these two gentlemen. I have so much respect for them in their lives and
Right.
in their personal lives and what they do in their relationships. So shout out to y'all as always, because I truly do respect your relationships, who you are, how you treat your women. Yeah, I know. And I'm actually giving y'all a compliment. How about that? But
Right.
no, much love, much love, much love.
Appreciate that,
My
sis.
hat goes
Appreciate
off.
that.
So that just made my heart like shine. Great, fantastic conversation. It's all love. This audience is amazing. Y'all have kept me laughing. Y'all have got me off of lost my train of thought. Uh, but literally, you all are the best audience ever. I say this, and I'm gonna keep saying this through the end of the year, y'all. It's the holiday season. Check on your strong friends. Check on your not so strong friends. Check on the friends that you're not sure where they stand on the spectrum. But let's take care of each other. Also, you got about a week and a half left for the
11
shopping.
days.
Shh.
11
11
days to
days.
Christmas.
So get it
10 and a
happening.
half
And
now.
also, if you that real last minute shopper, please check the dates and times that your favorite stores close. Favorite stores
Oh, and I'm
close.
gonna
They
tell
closing
you
early
right
on
now,
Christmas Eve.
Amazon ain't even getting it here by Christmas. So if you
There you
Amazon
go.
Oh,
Prime
ain't.
and you've been
They sure ain't.
leaning,
Not right now.
yeah, yeah,
Not right
Amazon
now.
like might want to do a gift card, bro, because this ain't
Right.
coming into
Hey,
after
when you
Christmas.
hit order now, something pop up like that. It might get there, it might not. I don't know, fam. You got to hope it get there in time.
Right. So be creative, be innovative, show some love to others. You never know what struggle people are going through and what's on their mind. If you can give to make somebody else smile. Love you all. If y'all need some, y'all know how to find us. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. It's always a blast.
Hey,
Back
hey
to you.
Listen,
Nick, before we go, can I gotta give a shout out. They should be paying us for this shout out. But I encourage everybody, especially single folks, to watch this show, Ready to Love. If you
oh
ain't
my
never
God,
watched
yes!
Ready to Love, man, and look, I'm not single, but I watch it faithfully. I can't wait till Friday for the next episode to see who get
Can I
eliminated.
just say,
But
like,
please, like, if you want to
nephew
talk about,
Tommy needs to
it's the
needs
coldest show out there, man. When you talk about, you'll see so many different issues, and it's black. It's black around our age too. It's people in
yes,
their late 30s and 40s, and even
Okay.
50 that are on this show. It's on. It's on OWN, right? What is it on, Nick?
yeah.
It's
I
on
think it's on
OWN.
OWN.
It's on OWN. Yeah,
Look,
it's like check that
you
show
gotta
out, man.
watch this show. Like, if you love, if you love our show, I'm just telling you, you get to hear. I mean, it's good. All I'm gonna say is it's good. And Nikki has been waiting for it to get close enough. I should have went on the Houston one, but I was scared. But I'm telling you, if he come back to Texas, Nikki is going. on Ready to Love.
Hey,
Because I'm ready.
this season is off the chain.
Off the chain. It
Off
came
the
out the gate
chain.
off the chain.
Yeah,
Off
this
the
season
chain.
off
wow.
the chain.
But
Watch,
I do
man, go
just want to
watch that
say
show.
this. Oh, we know somebody on that
We
show.
do. Girl, text me who? Text
I
me.
know, right? Let me tell y'all real
Anybody on there?
quickly. Like, I love this show. I love you guys. I know that I am at this point. I'm the only single person, and I'm good with that. I know y'all always trying to hook Nick up and put me on dates, but listen, this is the first season, y'all, that I'm really good in my singleness and chilling and doing my own thing. But I'm serious. I do believe in love. Do not let anyone snatch your hope for marriage. Niece, I saw you up there. You 33. I know you've had some challenges, but it's still a good man out there that will
Yeah,
love you.
you too young, sweetie. Don't
And
do
Yeah.
like
like
and
that.
like
You
being
too young.
said,
Don't go to the
sometimes
streets, Niecy.
You
Don't go to the
you
streets.
way too young. 33,
Stay
girl.
out the streets, girl. Ain't nothing out there.
Yeah, they
Well, matter of fact,
33. You too young to give up on marriage, sweetie. Way too
maybe we
young.
should find some men in her age range and do a speed dating for her. Since we
listen,
can't get black bugs to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
Chicago people on that show. There's
It
people I
sure
don't know
is.
them
It
personally,
sure is.
but there's a couple of Chicago folks on this show. But it's people that have had the same challenges that a lot of people out here are having, and that that they struggle with. Man, it's a great show. And like you said, the whole professionals, women with that bag, like great
And
jobs, all that. Man, it's
you
crazy.
get to see what you may not like. I see myself in some characters and
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it play out and be like, oh, is that how I come across when I say that, or I think that, or I move that way? It's a dope show. All I'm gonna say though, love, I'm a love bug, I believe in love and I support all things love. And I'm gonna tell you, when I met these two guys here, they in Houston, like for real, neither one of them were marriage material. Real talk, they weren't marriage material, and they were y'all wasn't.
You're right. You ain't
Y'all
right.
wasn't marriage material, and marriage was not on your mind.
Not at all.
But
Not at
look
all.
where they at now. So you just
Not at
gotta
all.
find a guy in the boo o'clock stage, because I am believing, and we're gonna talk about it. When men decide that they want to get married or they want to settle down, the very next woman that they
Hey, be
attracted
cool,
to,
Robin. Be cool,
Right, don't be
Robin.
co-signing down there, Robin.
Right.
See,
y'all
co-signing
just
from
saying.
Indy. She co-signing
just
from
saying.
Indy.
Right.
Not look right. Robin was like, not
Nope.
at all. Wait, Brian just threw y'all under the bus.
Squirrel.
Oh, be easy over that
Squirrel.
squirrel. I'm good.
Anyway, I just want to say our brothers here are they keep it real, raw, relevant. They share it with you, but they are proof that even though a man may be in a phase, that doesn't mean that, because they wasn't ever getting married again when we first met them, ever. Marriage was not a thing. And now look at them.
Camo, don't believe all of that buffoonery.
That's all I'm saying. That's
Matching
all I'm saying.
matching
It still
pajamas
can happen. My single ladies, rock with me. It can still happen. Send up the hearts for the love that we all gonna find, and to slide the scales toward the women in our
right.
We got
all right,
y'all.
We are way over our time. Listen, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the get notified when we go live so you don't miss a show, because it's always dope. And make sure you tell somebody else about the show. We will be back in the building next week. This will be our pre-Christmas show. Then we'll take a break for the holidays. So you do not want to.
Damn. All right, big fella.
All right.
I don't even know what to say to that. But you don't want to miss next week's, because after that, we're going on a 2-week break. And then, yes, come on.
Are we wearing Christmas attire next week? Like, should I?
I'm drinking eggnog. I can tell you that now.
I just
want to know Christmas attire. I wore my last Christmas attire last year.
I got the light.
I'm drinking eggnog.
We just said we didn't want to go shopping. Now you're gonna make me shop for Christmas attire.
Okay, I was just asking. I wanted to be prepared. I gotta
Christmas week. We gotta do it.
All right, we'll be okay. We will. Okay, Nunu said yes. So we're wearing Christmas attire, which means y'all gotta come to the show with eggnog and Christmas attire and join us. So ugly Christmas sweaters. Y'all got a lot of
I don't have
requests
one.
and stuff.
Man,
Okay, all right.
all that.
Anyway, ugly
I'll
Christmas
figure it
sweaters.
out.
We'll figure it out. Come next week so you can see what we figured out. And then make sure that you like, subscribe, and tell somebody about the page. We love you. Good show. We will see y'all next week. Eggnog and Hennessy. Oh God, I got
Oh
heartburn.
my God, eggnog and Hennessy.
man,
I
Mamani,
wouldn't make it through the hour. I'd be in the toilet.
That would
Peace,
be a
y'all.
conversation.